Flip your cameras.
Hello, everyone.
Are we still on practice or are we live?
We're going to be live. We're live. We're live.
We're live.
We're live. We're live.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Oh, look at my friend here.
Oh.
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak. How are you, Jasleen?
Eid Mubarak to you both. Thank you so much for joining us.
We're delighted to be with you today.
Right, we will get started. I am going to just do a quick introduction and welcome everybody, and then we have one more special guest joining us as well. So welcome everybody to today's Eid Live. We are here with the two lovely ladies who have put together this fantastic book, A Taste of Eid, and you are in for an absolute treat today. I'm really excited because it's the first time we've done kind of a cookbook and a recipe book, and you're going to be really, really impressed because there are some fantastic recipes in here. So we have the two ladies, Jax and Shireen from Book Brunch, joining us, and also Abdul, the founder of Books to Door, is joining us as well. So I will invite him now too. So give me a moment. Okay.
We're on the edge of our seats for you, Abdul.
Edge of our feet.
Edge of our feet, actually. Anyway, I stopped the recipe at one that Orna had cooked.
You did, yes.
Yeah.
Beautifully cooked.
Yeah. Well, actually, it wasn't cooking. It was collating, wasn't it?
We'll make lots of yummy noises for you all.
Yes, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
Delicious. And very, very simple to do. Really delicious. At any time of year, I think.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And a particularly nice sweet treat.
A really nice sweet treat, but one that keeps really well, so you can have it, every couple of weeks for
in your lunchbox.
Yeah, exactly. At work, working from home.
With a nice
cup of tea.
With a nice strong espresso, actually.
Or coffee.
If you're in that camp, you know.
I like that. I like that, having something sweet with something a bit bitter. So I do like having sometimes with the coffee, and then, it's kind of like a coffee and a pastry type of thing, isn't it?
Yes. And sometimes, because there are so many sweet treats that you bring me from the Aswat's kitchen.
Always. There's always something being made in my kitchen all year round. Eid is just an excuse to make more.
Yes.
Not less.
And we all benefit, so we're pretty pleased.
Well, yeah, because I can't keep them, because then I'll eat them all and get fat, so I have to share them with everybody. I make everybody fat with me.
Yeah. A feeder.
A feeder. Truly. There's no denial.
But we're very happy being fed.
Yeah. Oh, I've had no complaints.
And when I say we, Orna O'Brien is behind the camera.
You can spin it around you.
Who's a roving reporter.
Yeah, you can.
And Brunch Books.
Hello. Hello, Orna.
Work for Bologna Book Plus. So here we are. Look at these lovely.
I know. This is my favourite thing about going to the Middle East and going to the markets and seeing.
This photograph was taken in the spice market in
Sharjah,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
They went on location. Absolutely.
The colours just pop. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, you just want to use them all. And actually, I want to decorate with them rather than.
Yeah, I can see you putting these out on a table.
Yes.
And
yeah. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
Abdul here?
We're just waiting for Abdul. Here he is. So I'm just going to wave at him, and he'll join us in just a moment. So I'll just send that invitation.
No problem.
So
these are the Emirati ones.
These are the Emirati donuts, aren't they? But all of the recipes in this book have got a slightly Western twist as well, haven't they? To make them really easy to make.
These are basically just donuts.
Hi, Abdul.
Emirati donuts.
That's more exotic.
They do. Hi, Abdul.
Hi.
Hi, you guys.
How's your cooking?
Well, it's just about to kick off over here.
Are you demonstrating?
Oh, look, there's my hand.
Well, you know what? This book, The Taste of Eid. I must admit, I was absolutely gobsmacked at how amazing this book actually is.
Oh, I must tell Emma Marsden, who was the cookery editor, the recipes editor. She's fantastic.
Brilliant, brilliant. Honestly, so when I came across this, you know what? I have to try some of these recipes. And here I am. There was definitely one of the recipes that really caught my attention. Although it's got a different name here, it's called now it's on page 170.
You're doing the biscuit. We've got some of those on our table as well today, Abdul. We have a different name for it as well from India.
So we would call them naan pies.
Absolutely, Abdul.
Yes.
Naan pies, exactly. So that's what I've got. We've got homemade naan pies on our table today
But
as well.
these are with a sort of Middle Eastern name, aren't they?
It's the Middle Eastern
twist.
name.
Yeah.
So it's the exact same recipe, just with a different name for the Middle
And
East.
they look identical, don't they?
They look identical.
But the thing is, Abdul, of course, you remember that this book was done as a real celebration of Sharjah being market focused and also guest of honour at Bologna Book Plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
so there's a Middle Eastern twist on all the recipes, but they're all easily done, no matter where in the world you are.
So it was launched at the London Book Fair and then carried on to Bologna, and the recipes will live on forever.
Amazing, amazing. So, Jack, maybe tell us a little bit more about Book Brunch.
Oh, Brunch Books. Well, Brunch Books partnered when Shirin and I were at the London Book Fair. We partnered actually with Brunch Books and with Sharjah Book Authority to create this book. Really, it was a book that was designed to celebrate Eid, obviously, and to celebrate lots of memories and family recipes, wasn't it? So we went out and asked people for recipes.
It's the idea of, you know, how food can evoke a memory in you or remind you of something particularly, you know, you have a certain food with a certain family at a certain time, and it's bringing those memories into the book and saying this, when it's Eid, this is what we eat and this is why, and also this is how accessible it is to everybody. These are ingredients you can get everywhere. You know, things are so easy to get internationally now. You can make these wherever you are. The chamois dates are so easy and delicious, and it's trying to bring it to people in a way to say, just because it's Eid and it's not necessarily something you're familiar with, doesn't mean you can't make one of these recipes.
I always think that if I lived in a country that celebrated Eid, you know, sort of, if I lived in Sharjah, I would feel so left out if I didn't get celebrating as well. And you know, there are so many books about the spirit of Christmas, Christmas recipes and whatever. Shirin and I, who, you know, we spent hours travelling together in our jobs, and we used to sort of bemoan that fact and decided to do something about it.
Absolutely.
So,
and I guarantee this is the first of many more to come, because we have a lot more ideas. Just be warned, Abdul, there are more ideas to come.
And then, I mean, I really wanted to do this book, and Shirin was our cultural consultant. I'm a bit of a recipe consultant as well. But I must say, Emma Marsden did a fantastic job.
Emma Marsden was incredible, and her input on this book, I mean, it's made it the professional piece that it is.
And her experience. And Sharjah were just so up for it and did a massive social media campaign to get people's recipes and stories.
And the photographs are all from Sharjah. We had a photographer go out on location in Sharjah and take pictures. And again, it's to give you a flavour of what these things mean and the cultural behind it. But also, these are just people cooking food, eating food, going about their everyday lives. It's not something to be afraid of.
And they're just enjoying and sitting down together and breaking bread or something more exotic.
Absolutely.
But my particular bailiwick is tablescaping.
Yes.
So shall we take you in to show you, because, I mean, I'm not teaching any grandmother to stack eggs, but Eid bounces around the calendar.
It does. The Islamic calendar is shorter than the Western calendar, so Eid is never on the same date in consecutive years. So this year's Eid will be on a different date to next year's Eid. So we celebrate at different times of year. So 1 year it might be in summer, 15 years down the line it will be in winter. So you adapt according to the time of year. In the same way you do with a normal diet, you adapt your food and your styles according to the time of year that you're in.
And your table, which is my segue.
You are really in for an incredible surprise. I mean, I had a sneak peek a little while ago, but look at this. So this amazing layout. Wow.
So obviously this is a lovely coffee pot, but also I've brought in quite a British teapot as well, but it's also, actually I bought this pot to make mint tea. So
which is perfect mint tea.
Yeah, and then we've got these are actually direct from Sharjah, I have to say.
I think you'll find
and we just thought this was quite a wintry setting, quite cosy. And probably quite a sort of early evening meal type of thing when it's Did you bring your Eid lights? We've got to put them
Oh,
out.
they're on my bed at home.
Oh, we've got to
no.
bring them out. But nevertheless, Abdul, Eid Mubarak.
Oh, I love that.
I had one bag left over from the gifts to you.
You gave to me, yeah.
Yeah. So that's our winter table. I don't know if it resembles anything that you do at home, Abdul.
I think, you know what, it's so I come from a South Asian family. I think over time I've had very experiences of Eid. So as a child, when that's economically deprived, we didn't have a lot of the great things that that we do have access to now, because we worked our way up.
Yeah, of course.
And, we didn't have money, etc. So one of the beautiful things Eid Adha being celebrated on Saturday, this coming weekend, is the fact that there is a sacrifice, would sacrifice an animal.
Yes, yeah.
And I think the beauty about occasion is that you would then distribute the meat, the animal. We have traditionally done our Qurban in India. We feel like there's more poor people who don't have access to nutritious meat. And what we do is have our sacrifice for them. And it's really heartwarming to know that people, you know, poor people especially, will get access to lots of meat over the coming weekend, when lots of people do their Qurban this weekend. Also, as we've for Qurbani here in the UK as well, what that then allows us to do is distribute meat among the family.
Yes.
Always nice to receive, you know, a little bit of Qurbani meat, and then you'd make a dish with it in the coming days as well, so which is also really nice too. Which is, yeah, so that's how
Well, that's I have to say that's one of the things that struck the chord with me and Shirin when I first met you, and we were talking about different memories, and it was so evocative that as a child, one of your cozy memories, was your mum
handling the meat.
Yes,
Qurbani,
and I can almost feel it. I'm vegetarian, but I can almost feel the coziness emanating from the fact that you with your mum and your family.
And exactly like Abdul says, you know, we in our house, we grew up when we did have Qurbani here in the UK, we would divide up the meat into parcels and we'd hand them out, and especially to family and friends, you'd give, and this is special. And all year round, when you take it out of the freezer, you go, this is Qurbani meat, this is from Eid. So you eat it with a different memory in your mind.
Yes.
And I have to say, Abdul, listening to you, it's like talking to myself, because you've just said everything that I always say to Jack about Qurbani in India, and knowing that people will be getting meat, you know, as a way to sustain them in the coming weeks.
It's lovely
as well. So they're very evocative, evocative memories.
So if we go from those cozy, sort of more wintry, and sort of, you talked about freezer and things like that.
Yes, cold memories.
So should we go out to
Your summer
setting table first? We thought that maybe people,
well, absolutely, in our household.
Yes.
I mean, Abdul, I'm not sure if it's like this in your household, but as an Indian family, our house is often like Piccadilly Circus. People are always ringing the doorbell and turning up unannounced. And so, of course, as an Asian family, you always have to have something on hand should that happen. So
what have we got here on this table then, in terms of drinks and recipes from the book that are perfect for those?
What Abdul made, of course.
Of course. So we've got the biscuits from the cookbook, which Abdul and I call Nankatai, and in the book they're called Gurabi biscuits.
My Gurabi biscuits against your Gurabi biscuits. Mine's in the process of being made.
I'm going to try a Gurabi biscuit.
I'll come and teach you, don't worry.
It's delicious.
Oh, wow. And what about, would you have those with some of the, like, karak chai or like a mint tea or something?
Exactly. You'd have it with a mint tea, a cup of coffee, if that's your, you know, your preference. You can absolutely have it with coffee, or you'd have it with some karak tea or regular tea, whatever you fancy. It's exactly what we were talking about earlier, Jaslina, but just one small sweet bite with a hot drink or something a bit sharp or bitter. The flavours offset each other.
Yes, definitely. And there's a
of course,
recipe in the book for making the traditional tea as well, isn't there? So
there's a recipe in here for karak tea as well, which is very it's not that dissimilar to a chai, a non spicy chai, so to speak. So without all the flavors of cardamom and nutmeg. And if you don't like milky tea,
138 in the book.
Exactly.
So
and look, Orna, that's to go with the bites that you made. And if you don't like milky tea, you won't like karak tea,
I do not like
which Jax does not like, but I love it because that's the kind of tea that I grew up on. And it's very similar to teas that you get in Malaysia. They're all very similar, but they have different names to them.
yes,
So this is a big one in Sharjah.
Yes.
People love it.
It
And
took
then
me 5 years
pomegranate
to
juice.
find this, in Sharjah.
Yeah,
Pomegranate juice, just very
a recipe in the book for a pomegranate drink.
lots of different takes on various drinks.
Yeah.
To have
and
a look at.
smoothies as well. So yeah, lots of choice. I think one thing that is really great about the recipe book that I found is it's really easy to kind of navigate your way around if you're not really sure. Like there's options for kind of everything, an alternative. So there's a really good index at the back, but also one thing that I found really helpful was the way that you've done the planning of feasts, which is at the back. So there's lots of different ideas.
That was our idea, wasn't it?
It was,
because
yes.
we just thought a lot of people don't know what goes with what.
Exactly, and if you're trying something for the first time, you want it to be as easy as possible. You just don't want to be frightened by trying something. And so we
I think in that there was a lot of variety as well, and it gives you like a really good lots of different options for all sort of breakfast, brunch, lunch, afternoon tea, as we've just been saying. So that's really useful, and that's in the book.
So we've come to the table that is the last table, which is more of a sort of summer Eid fusion.
Absolutely, afternoon tea style summer table.
So we're going to sit down.
And this is the idea of you can just have friends round for Eid in the summer, or in fact not just for Eid but any time of year.
Or I can.
Oh, you can. No, but I just mean generally, you as in anybody can have
it's
friends
today,
around. Exactly, and let's just have a nice cup of tea, a snack.
But let's look at these snacks and see what we've got. So,
and would you traditionally have savoury snacks and sweet snacks together?
Yes, you probably
like
would.
a little bit like a Eid afternoon tea is what I'm picturing.
Exactly, and yes, you can absolutely have sweet and savoury. Everything is down to an individual's taste. So the idea with this book is that there is something for everybody within it, and if you want to have sweet and savoury, you absolutely can do that. There is no rule to say you cannot do something in any shape or form. So you just do what feels right.
So Abdul, check these out that Orna made. These are page
164, Rangina.
And they are utterly delicious. And actually, she said no cooking, easy
to make.
My kind of recipe.
I describe them as an Arabic take on a millionaire's shortbread. With a base and some toppings and deliciousness, just pure deliciousness.
I need to look up the sesame one. And then the scones,
the cardamom scones.
Yes. Yeah.
Cardamom and orange or rose?
No,
just cardamom.
Cardamom vanilla, actually.
Love the way you've set them out after.
Well, it's very afternoon tea-ish, isn't it? And it's really sunny in London today. So
it is.
It's an absolute summer
afternoon
tea. And then these delicious snacks came directly from the Aswat kitchen. So
I have to tell you, they actually came from my next door neighbour's kitchen today. So traditionally in my house and in our neighbourhood, we have always traditionally, quite like Abdul was saying, we share food around. So at Eid, for the end of Ramadan, we will always send sweet goods to all of our friends and neighbours. And then for this Eid, which I always nostalgically call the meat Eid to people when I'm trying to explain it, we do similar sweet things, but we do a lot more savoury things as well. So on this plate, for example, these are 3 types of Indian crackers that that my next door neighbour made, and we've got 2 different savoury ones and then a sweet one as well. So they're just little touches.
My childhood. So
it's almost like a cheese stick, but not cheesy. It's more savoury.
Caraway.
It has caraway seeds in it.
It's very evocative for me.
And those are the flavours, the evocative Indian,
Yeah.
Middle Eastern
Delicious.
flavours that you get from things.
And then talk us through these.
So these on this middle plate, in the middle we have, these are called gulab jamun. They're an Indian donut that are then rolled in syrup and desiccated coconut.
Oh my
All
gosh.
of these things are homemade on this plate. And then the other four, these are types of pastry that are made and then deep fried. These two are, one's a salty, savoury one, one's a sweet one. And then these two are filled with a filling of cardamom, pistachios, almonds, sugar, just really delicious savoury flavours.
All these are the ones we ate on our way back when we got lost from taking Shirin her birthday present.
And then that was, pandemic times. And then traditionally with these, you would have sweet milk. So I'm not sure, I personally don't drink sweet milk. I don't like it. But you would have a milk which has almonds, saffron, lots of different flavours in it. And then you would have some of this with some sweet milk or tea, if that's your preference. And that's what would make up your... And these would all be snacks, by the way. This is not a meal for an Eid household. You would obviously still have your rice, your biryanis, your other meals that you would have. These are all just the snacky things, which, I mean, that raises my eyebrows all the time.
Which
it's a lot for me.
It's great. It's great though, because they're very. I think these are more complicated to make, but the recipes in here are actually pretty straightforward.
They are.
And I'm a hopeless cook, and I managed to make the scones this morning, and they were very easy. And I've made them before, and they're utterly delicious. And I decided in full fusion mode we were going to combine them with whortleberry jam from where I grew up in Somerset. And a whortleberry is a bilberry, or a very small blueberry. So I thought cardamom scones, from a taste of Eid with whortleberry jam, was fusion at its best.
Absolutely. Well, as I say, most people will have things like strawberry jam in your cupboard or raspberry. It doesn't matter what you have in your cupboard to go with these things. It's a fusion, exactly as you say, Jax, of cultures and tastes, and it's just making these things fun and accessible.
Yeah, I think that's really nice the way you kind of wrap that up, because this book is, we're talking about Eid and the celebration of Eid, but this book is very much for people who don't celebrate Eid, but want to embrace the culture, learn about those recipes, and actually, you know, these are, you can really get your head around these. And I think one thing I found, and hopefully I'm correct in saying this, but when I was looking through kind of the ingredients and things, they're generally things that I would probably have at home.
Absolutely.
I don't necessarily need to go out and get a whole new list of things that I'm never going to use again. There are things sort of like saffron, cinnamon, cardamom, things that are used in multiple things, and I think that was really appealing to me. And I don't celebrate Eid, but I thought there was nothing in this recipe book that I was like, well, I'm not going to eat that. I would definitely have that, and to be able to share that. And
we've been talking. Made Rabi biscuits. They're nearly ready.
Oh my God! Let's have a look.
So basically, I've the it's all ready, and I've just literally put them into balls, and it's ready. Like, how quick was that? What, in 10 minutes, literally?
In 10 minutes, you've done them. Let's have a look.
So it's in the oven, and apparently it only takes 12 minutes to bake. So what an easy quick recipe to make some fresh homemade biscuits, natural ingredients. I think one of the good things about the recipe that I've looked at, the gurabi biscuit, is it has ghee. Now, my nutritionist actually raves about using the nutrition that you get from ghee, healthy fat, it's really organic, grass-fed ghee. And that's a little tip.
That's the one to look for.
And I was like, oh, okay. So honestly, these are nice nutrition. And that's coming from a nutritionist directly, saying use ghee where you can. There's actually quite a lot of around ghee, but if you eat in a balanced meal, 100%. So actually, the use of a good quality ingredient such as this, an organic ghee with fed, is a little I wanted to share with you guys, by the way.
Oh, brilliant.
But that's a tip in life in general, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Good ingredients make the recipe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, well done for doing those biscuits. I hope you're going to share them out. Take them into
Oh,
the office, Abdul.
absolutely.
No.
Yes, please. And we'll have a pack up from London as well. It can make us very safe to me. Those are the scones that we were just talking about as well. So
Yeah.
those are lovely scones.
They are. They've got some really interesting. I think they've got a pumpkin caramel with them in the book.
Yes.
Yeah, and quite a cream
And a
cheese.
cream
I
cheese.
actually just do them because I'm quite lazy. I just do them with whipped cream and Whortleberry jam.
Which is the best way. Oops, I'm going to give this.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think, you know, there's like you sort of said, there's you can do this and you can adapt it. So with what you've got at home or what you know or what you're comfortable with, you don't need to be an expert. But the rest of it is quite simple and easy to follow. So even with the ingredients, as well as the step-by-step, the way it's been put together, it's not too overcomplicated for somebody that's having a look at this. So I think that's really...
If you look at, we spent ages choosing the photos to go on the back because we wanted them to really give a feeling of the book and the possibilities of the book, but also
not
to
scare anybody away.
No, and also to look like something that you might do for a summer Saturday lunch, for example. And
that's something you can identify. So ingredients that you can see and identify, like an egg. Exactly. Yeah. So you don't get scared looking at it and go, oh, I don't know what that is. It's a fried egg. Anybody can do that. Actually,
and you know what really I like about the photography as well is that and I think you were just almost kind of saying this, but it actually does look like food that you're going to eat. So sometimes you can see things and it's like, I'm never going to be able to achieve that. How have they done that? I don't know. Mine's never going to come out like that. But
I feel like that looking at a lot of cookbooks actually. There's a lot of we put a lot of thought into what the recipes would be, what the pictures would look like, so that it does feel accessible. And not just to people that don't...
Emma really did a good job.
Emma's fantastic in that. Her eye and her skill in doing that is incredible. I mean, she definitely helped make this book. And it's not only for people that don't celebrate Eid, but it's also for people that do celebrate Eid, but that have never learned to make these dishes or have always been a bit too nervous to do it for themselves. This appeals to everybody and not just one audience.
And we should actually just mention the foreword, because it is it's her foreword. She was a MasterChef winner and is also a doctor, I think. And she really does the most fantastic explanation of what Eid means to her and to people. And it's all about family and friends, as all of these festivals
absolutely
appear to be.
And I think that's exactly it. Festivals, especially when they revolve around food, it's about people and food and being together. Nothing more, you know, and if once you boil it down to that basic stage, we're all the same, doing the same thing.
And creating memories, to be honest. And so much food.
I think one with Eid as well, sometimes people might have Eid at another sibling's house or another cousin's house, and would go over to their house. And usually you wouldn't go empty-handed. I'm just wondering what a nice gift it would be for the family to take a copy of this as a gift to them as well.
That would be nice.
That would be lovely. A lovely hostess gift, and also a fantastic gift for somebody who perhaps doesn't celebrate Eid, but who's really interested in how you do.
Yes.
And you know, it's a really good passport to that, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great talking point as well, you know, to have on your bookshelf and someone else comes around and says, oh, what's this? And
back when it was first published, didn't they? Because they did a massive...
a lovely piece on it.
Yeah, they did a great extract of the recipe. Anyway.
We could talk
Would you traditionally get the kids involved in this as well? You know, get them in the kitchen, do some cooking as well, because
that's how I grew up with everything. I mean, a lot of these things for me, evocative memories of doing it as a child and learning and doing it alongside. And in fact, I remember when my parents were abroad when I was younger, and I'd come around to Eid, my sister and I would do the cooking and send it out, and people thought we were like, well, what do you mean your mum's not here? Who made all of this? And well, we did, you know, because as kids we did it as we were growing up. So for us, it's second nature.
It's such a shame. It's like child, I want a kitchen, simply like, you know, my parents are from India. They have very, it wasn't for a boy to be in the kitchen cooking away. How times have changed. Now with my own, we're sat there, you know, we're doing things together. It's just bringing things, and you know what, the sort of, I see the spark in him, and these sort of easy, really brilliant to do with children. Summer holidays are coming up. Great ways, great ideas, activities to do with children as well. So yeah.
I mean, those scones are such fun to make with children. You get, you know, really sort of, they're really easy and you get your hands in. Yeah. And it's pretty instant gratification.
Absolutely.
So,
and you can now sit down and enjoy it like together. That's, you know, especially some of those snacks, I think they're really lovely, and the biscuits and things they could.
I should imagine the 6-year-old Shirin used to be begging her mother to make these, so that you could nibble them.
So many things. It's always that thing. I'm sure, Adol, you'll have this when you take your biscuits out of the oven, but it's that first hot one that you're just almost impatient to try when it's first made. And
yeah, you're like burning your hands in your mouth, but you just want to taste it.
Exactly.
But it's, you know, it's the same for every festival, isn't it?
Exactly.
There's always something to roll or knead. Or stir.
Or have a timer for.
Yes. And for little people to stand on chairs and help.
And get involved, absolutely.
Yeah. And then it's great because you can sit on a hot summer's day, and as soon as we've finished this little chat, I am going to be tucking into these savoury snacks that came over from Hackney this morning.
And you do not need to see us on video for that.
Adol, you putting your biscuits in the oven?
Ready to go in the oven. Yes, a little bit.
Fantastic.
I'll give
Good
you.
luck.
Well, how do I do this? Right. So this is what they're looking like.
Wow.
They are ready to go in the oven, and in 12 minutes later, hopefully, I'll be experiencing a nice hot one of these Gouravi biscuits.
We look forward to seeing a photograph when they're done.
You're going to have to post it.
I shall indeed. I'll put it up. Definitely post it later today.
Okay, well, we can just do, well, if they're only about 10 minutes, we can stay on for a few minutes, but we'll just kind of go back to the book. So the recipe book, A Taste of Eid, is available. So we've got it on the Books to Door website for you to buy, to celebrate Eid or not celebrate Eid. It's available sort of all year round. And this, I'm correct in saying this particular Eid is not actually a fasting one. So lots of opportunities to try different things, and the way it's broken up is I'll just kind of show you the contents actually, so you can see that it's got breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, dessert. So there's all sort of meal times are there, so it's everything really in one book. I think it doesn't just focus on desserts, it doesn't just focus on simple lunches or something like that. It's everything, and there's nothing that, you know, there's not sort of any exotic ingredients that you need to travel far and wide for. You should hopefully have everything. So, and you'll see that I've kind of bookmarked a few of the things that I'm hoping to try, because I couldn't make it into the kitchen today, but
loving the
yeah,
book. Well, I mean, I think just a little note on what this Eid is all about. It's Eid, for those of you who don't know. Eid al-Adha is the Eid that is celebrated when people who go to Saudi Arabia to perform the Hajj. And on completion of the Hajj, the ritual, an animal is sacrificed and a qurban made. So, I mean, so basically what happens is, so just more about, like, you know, you go to the Kaaba in Mecca, they do the tawaf, which is walking around the Kaaba. Then there's also going between two mountains, Safa and Marwa, in them. These are all rituals that the teachers. But then also what's actually, and from my own experience of completing the Hajj as well, is, you know, you go to Mina, you have to spend time in Mina, you'll stay in tents, you'll stay amongst all the other people, the Hujjaj, the rest of the people that are performing Hajj. And one of my fond memories of Hajj is that how you have people from absolutely everywhere around the world, all the foods and everything bring as well in the cuisines. I remember being in the MENA tents, and there was a massive plate of rice, and then on top of it there was a camel head, literally a camel head on top, and I was like, oh, it was a sight to see. That was a local delicacy. So it's very beautiful. You know, the fact that you can actually learn about different people's food, cultures, adding it to your own kind of like you know, bringing it to your family. These books, new sorts of recipes. I think it's really a good thing to do. So, yeah.
Brilliant.
And it's memories, isn't it? Food creates memories. So I think it's been really lovely to hear that from both completely different experiences, but it's kind of shared love for food and celebrating and bringing everybody together. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And
Definitely.
everybody celebrates Eid brilliantly.
Agreed.
Eid
We want to
Mubarak.
see your photographs
Yes.
of what you make.
Yeah.
Definitely, we'll be posting them later today. Keep an eye out.
And if anybody else is cooking or trying anything from the recipe book, if you want to get your hands on it, please, please, please let us know. Tag us in at Books to Door and Book Brunch News. We would be delighted to see what you've been cooking. I am utterly jealous of all the delicious food you're all about to eat. So I think I better get...
surpassed herself, I have to say. It's absolutely brilliant. And we're going to celebrate in style, I think.
Thank you so much.
You guys have done a fabulous job with all the foods there. So well done, guys, as well. And thank you for joining.
Thank you for having us. Eid
Right.
Mubarak to everybody.
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye.